There we are.
Are we on now?
Yeah, we're on.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the very first anniversary.
Yeah, we're on.
Okay, I gotta close this.
You're gonna close the stream, man.
Right, man. Okay, so what's up, guys? Welcome to GTS. This is the first anniversary, and to be honest, me and Jess, we started this like exact a year ago, and here we are, and super excited to be here.
Yeah.
I haven't been on the show for quite a while now, and now I'm the guest. Guess what? It comes full circle. And ladies and gentlemen, introducing Jazz with Master Great Jazz. You guys can find him on Instagram. And me, myself, I'm Justin from Studio G and also G Academy as well. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show, guys. Thank you so much for that beautiful introduction, Justin. Man, it's been a long time since we had you on the show, and it's been a long time since I've seen you guys on the chat. I hope that you guys are doing well and you guys are ready to have an amazing show with Justin. It's a throwback because so let's go on to let's just kind of change to the next slide real quick. Happy anniversary, GTS. There it is. If you guys look at the date, that was Friday, 13th of March of 2020. So tomorrow, technically, a year ago, it's GTS is 1 year old. Can you guys believe that? It's been so long.
Well, technically, it's already for me because I live in the future.
Oh, this is true. It is Saturday over there. It's Friday over here. Yeah, so guys, welcome back. I just want to tell you real quick that Sean won't be able to be here today because he's feeling a little bit under the weather, so we hope that he feels better. So he's downstairs just laying down and trying to get better and taking a little nap. But regardless of that, it's now Justin and me, the original creators of GTS. Now, of course, we can't forget Gunpla. So hello to Chris if he's watching. If he ever watches this, he's also part of GTS. When we first started this, we invited him on to be part of the project, which he's not part of anymore, but he's doing his own thing, so definitely check him out. But yeah, 1 year. What have you done in 1 year, Justin? I mean, I remember I met you in January of last year, and you were like 32 subscribers on YouTube.
Yeah, I know. It's amazing on how the channel has grown and the community. Sorry, guys, I'm so nervous. I mean, it's been a while since I've done this, so the community has grown. It's kind of overwhelming, to be honest. And not only I've quit my job for the within last year. I started a company as well, and it's doing very very well. And I'm really happy that the brand has been received well. Sales has been really good as well, and I'm also happy that with this business of Gpaint, I'm able to help the economy of Malaysians as well as here in the Philippines. We are currently somewhere around 13 staff. So I'm really glad. One of the goals is to really help out the people who lost their job during COVID, and then luckily I can help them with any kind of way, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I'm really proud of that, to be honest.
And I think we can all say that we're very proud of you. I mean, I remember a year ago when I met you, and it was actually in February that I went to Model Mania, where I actually met some of my best friends and brothers and sisters of today who are at the CGC. I remember being at the table showing off my kits that are just straight builds, and having a little piece of paper that I wrote your name on, telling people to check you out on YouTube.
Right.
I remember when I used to do all that stuff, and like you blew up. I told him. You know, when your first video I ever saw was the Mark II video, and I said to you, dude, you're going to go places. This is going to blow up. And you're like, well, maybe. And look at you now, 150,000 subscribers.
57. 157.
Hundred-
Please get the details right?
157. All right, my bad for having bad journalism. But I just want to say hi to everybody on the chat. We have Jedo Hobby, who is, of course, somebody that I've known of for a long time, because I remember when Justin first mentioned you back in May, when you first talked to him, saying, I hope you're doing well, Gunpla. My mom is on there. Hi, Mom. I love you. We have Gunpla Ghost on there. We have Studio Gundam on the chat. What? So, Hydroponica, Sephro, I hope that you guys are doing well. Make sure to type your questions. Make sure to type what you guys want to hear from Justin, and we will try to read all of them whenever the time comes. But with that said, we're going to move forward. So thank you again for the happy anniversary, guys. And Han, hi, Han. But yeah, 1 year of GTS. So let's keep it going for a long time. It says that Justin's voice is a bit low. Maybe I can try to fix that. Give me a second. I can fix that on my side. Give me a second. Excuse me.
Yep. Up your user volume.
I'm gonna pop it up for you right there. And then, sorry guys, I'm just trying to... All right, so with that said, oh, I think I left the little volume thing on your face on. Give me a second. Let me click out of here. There we go. All right, cool. So with that said, we're going to go on to the next slide. I think maybe Justin wants to give a quick shout out to Gunpla Chef.
Gunpla Chef. So Gunpla Chef, all I know is that Jazz challenged him to make a Zaku fried rice or something like that, and he did 12 days of that. So shout out to Gunpla Chef. Guys, go check out Gunpla Chef on YouTube as well. Just search for Gunpla Chef. And he makes really funny and really informative videos as well about Gunpla and model making in general. So go check him out.
Yeah, 100%. His model building is amazing, and then you get this awesome fried rice in the shape of a Zaku head. It's like... When we first, well, actually, he's part of G Squad, which is something that you also created, right? Where it's a group of content creators and people that help each other out, right? What's the main idea behind G Squad, Justin?
Well, the main idea is that it's not for me to be there to consult or to guide them like 100%, but I'm trying to provide a place for content creators to come together and learn from each other, because everybody has their own thing, right?
Of course.
And then also like it's also for like if people initially we have people joining in G Squad just for the exposure, like they are thinking that I might shout them out constantly and all that. So no, it's not like that. It's because to me itself, I mean, I've been a content creator for the longest time that I can remember, and it's a very lonely journey for me. So the idea behind it is that I want to provide a place where people can feel safe, they can feel vulnerable, they can open up themselves if they are having fatigue. That is the main problem of becoming a content creator, to be honest, right? You feel fatigued, you feel stressed, and how come my views are not up? I'm not getting recognitions and stuff like that. So it's a safe haven for people who are like-minded, to be honest. And then if you are a content creator and you're feeling a little bit lonely after months and years of hard work, do contact me or Jado Hobby in the chat currently, and he'll let you in on G Squad after an interview. So because we don't accept basically everybody.
Yeah, right? Yeah, 100%. And it's a good thing that you mentioned that, because definitely one of the things in the hobby is not for clout, guys, right? You know, we're doing this because we like it. It's definitely something that we enjoy. And yeah, definitely check out Jado Hobby, even his own work. Also check out Jado Hobby on YouTube. Check out Gunpla Chef, Kelga Creations, and a bunch of other people who are part of the G Squad, including us over here on GTS. But with that said, we're going to go on and we're going to present the honorable guest, Studio G, Justin, who is now a guest and not a host. So this is a beautiful picture of you. Can you explain to us a little bit about this awesome little picture? What were you doing?
It was taken in London during one of my work travels. So a little bit backstory. So like what I always say in like what I said before, my journey is not that straightforward. I mean, I come from various backgrounds. I've started multiple business and failed multiple times, more than I can count, to be honest. Right. So this is a picture from one of my days as a YouTube content creator as well, but it focuses on photography and like pictures and videos. Right.
Yeah.
It's about cameras.
Yeah.
It's not about Gunpla. That was this is a channel before Studio G.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I think we have a video or something like line up.
Oh no, we have a video later on. We're actually gonna everybody out there, the show today is gonna revolve around Justin's life in the sense of his career up to now, right? How he started. Everybody's seen his videos. Everybody's seen how he builds Gunpla and how he paints them and how he customizes. But what we're gonna try to do right now is we're gonna try to delve a little bit deeper into who he is. Now, to be honest, I know a lot about Justin, from how he grew up and a lot of the things that he's done, because he's a good friend of mine. But I do want to share that story with you guys and kind of get to know this guy, because honestly, Justin is a man of many talents. Somebody asked in the channel, is this channel still up? Is it still up? I'm pretty sure it still is, right?
Yep. For those who are interested in looking at my old channel and see how I suck,
I'm still
subbed. Go check out Justin Tan YJ. JUSTANYJ. It's in the chat already, so just search it up.
And this is actually this is the picture that you have on that one, right?
Yeah, that's the profile picture
I
itself
remember
because
for
it's the
first time.
best picture I can find.
All right. So with that said, guys, we're going to start off with your journey in photography, right? Because before anything
Right.
else, you're a photographer. This is what makes your content extremely likable, especially on Instagram. Of course, we're going to get into videography and editing later, but right
Yeah.
now, what people first saw were your photographs, which are just breathtaking, honestly. So, can you explain to us a little bit about how you kind of approach the idea of photography? What is it? How is it? Give us a tour of a day in Justin's eyes taking photographs of the city.
Well, I mean, in I like walking around the cities, right?
Hmm.
Especially when I live in the one of the largest cities in the world as well. And during my travels, I was in London, I was in Madrid, I was in Barcelona, I was in quite a lot of countries and Taiwan as well a lot. So I always get fascinated by night lights, by sunsets, by how buildings are constructed and how the leading lines are. So that is where I focus my photography on, which is street photography, right? So I like to play a lot with lights, right? Because photography itself, essentially, it's all about capturing light, because light is how we perceive things, is how we interpret things.
Hmm.
And when I'm in Asian side of things, I like to focus on the night lights, because in Asia everything is so packed, and we get all these signage, like all this signage and stuff like that,
Hmm.
and it's very Japanese-like, and this that is what I'm attracted to as well. And more and more, when I started to take pictures of the nightlife and on the streets or on the city scale, then kind of evolved my own palette of color correction as well, and then that has evolved to cyberpunk kind of pictures
Exactly.
where we focus on red, purple, yellow, and also traffic, like moving traffic, because most of the pictures that were taken at night, it's a long exposure kind of pictures,
Hmm.
right? So I find myself really in a calm and zen mode when I'm doing this. I would just set up a tripod, multiple angles, try high, low, left, right, everywhere from different kind of angle, different kind of place, right? So I remember once I even climb up, like what you see on the screen right now is probably one of the pictures where I was so courageous. I climbed up into a rooftop without permission, set out a tripod there, like those, and then just take pictures like that.
Yeah, yeah.
And I truly enjoy that moment. And there's always a risk, and you kind of get scared, and you are in constant fear of getting caught as well. So the adrenaline itself is really, really exciting.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, this is the channel was all about previously,
Yeah,
right? About photography, about videography and stuff like that.
I think one of the first videos I ever watched after, of course, running into you regarding your YouTube channel, your Studio G channel, when you shared with me this other channel, the first video I watched, I think you have a tutorial on how to take or edit into cyberpunk style, right?
Yep,
Something like that in Adobe Lightroom, I think.
yep.
Yeah.
It
So
is, it is.
a lot of the things that I've taken from you, in a sense, is I use Lightroom all the time now. Whenever I edit my photos, Lightroom is an amazing app on mobile, and that's the
Right.
only one that I use. Right? If you guys want to edit your photos, don't use the regular Samsung or iPhone editors on your phone. Download download Lightroom. We're not sponsored by Adobe. If we were, I'd be rich. Okay, but
Yep.
go check out Lightroom, and definitely start watching some of Justin's old videos. I think you even have some videos on cameras, don't you?
Yeah, I do. I do like introducing cameras and the features and stuff like that. And,
Yeah,
I love lenses, right?
yeah.
If you talk like what's my love for Gunpla versus lenses, I would say equal. And obviously, my wife will be on the top,
Oh, of course. The
of
wife is
course, right?
the wife is always on top. Okay.
The
Eh,
wife was.
that can actually be taken the wrong way, guys. Please don't take it the wrong way. Um, but with that being said, when you were taking photos, what was your weapon of choice? Like, what camera were you taking photos with? What is your favorite camera?
My favorite camera is obviously the most expensive ones, but I use that. I use those on a rental sometimes during my production, but with my job with the company. But basically, what I have personally, I started with a Canon 80D.
Mhm.
Right, it's not really a pricey camera. It's an intermediate APS-C sensor camera, but it like like what I always say, don't let whatever gear that you have, no matter what you're doing, either customizing Gunpla or taking photos or videos or whatever, don't let those kind of gears define who you are and what you can do with it. Even the cameras that I'm using, they are not exactly 4K with amazing specs or amazing price tags. Basically, you can do amazing stuff as well, even with only your phone. So because you gotta remember, photography, videography, or even customizing Gunpla, it's your self-expression of art and yourself.
Hmm.
So these are just tools and mediums that you use
Hmm.
to allow you to express your love for the art, right?
Hmm.
For self-expression. So don't let all this hardware stuff limit your capabilities.
Hmm.
If you're using a Sony Ericsson KA750i that was like 20 years ago, then I'm sorry. but but again, don't let that define you as well.
Yeah.
Low resolution pictures, they do look great as well sometimes. It
With the.
depends on what kind of style you're looking for.
Hmm.
But this is the weapon of my choice because financial reasons. ADD is the one that I'm using during my photography days, and then recently I've upgraded to the 90Ds because the 80D was broken at some point. So
Hmm.
I had to really buy another one.
Yeah. Well, even on the topic of photography, right? Like you said, it really depends on how good of a composition you can create when it comes to taking a picture, right? You can take
Yep,
a photo with one of the most expensive cameras in the world, but if your lighting and your composure and everything is terrible, then it's gonna be a terrible photo, right?
exactly, exactly,
You're only,
exactly,
I would say, you're only as the camera is only as good as its owner, right?
exactly.
That's the way it works. But we have some questions here real quick that we see on the chat. Somebody's asking, John asked, I've always wondered if Justin has any formal art training, college or as an apprentice. So could you answer
No,
that?
I do not. I didn't fit. I didn't exactly. I studied in college, but it's for a diploma. It's not even a degree or anything. So basically, and I studied for mass communication. So it's
Hmm.
more on radio shows, doing broadcasting and stuff like that. So yes, if you are saying that I do have any formal training with cameras, I did. But as we all know, that colleges and stuff like that, they are, especially on the diploma level, what they're providing is just the basics of the basics,
Hmm.
right? So at the end, what I learned from, I mean, where I learned all this from is from YouTube.
Hmm.
So please, we are filled with information nowadays in this age. So whenever you have internet connection, you have information. If you don't know how to do something, just Google it, right?
Yeah.
It's the same thing, right?
Daddy Google has the answer all the time. That's how it
All the
works.
time.
Even like for photography, like and even just actually talking to people. Of course, I know Justin nowadays is very busy, and I know that he tries to message all of his fans all the time, and the people that message him. But I remember when I first messaged this guy, there were days and nights where I would stay up till 3 o'clock in the morning, and I'd be like, "Okay, Justin, how do I get that dramatic shadow on my barbatos?" I remember that night a lot,
Oh yeah,
and
I remember that picture.
yeah, and so that picture is actually on my Instagram, and I remember you helping me out. And actually, for those who don't know, the ring light that's actually burning my eyes right now, that ring light, well, not that one, but the one that I have over here, was actually sent over to me by Justin back when we first started hanging out. So that was really cool. And it kind of just comes to show the type of person that he is, right? As much as popularity there is, he's still really out there to help the people that want it and people that really kind of show that they're ready to move on, to move forward, not move on, move forward. But anyway, C Rain TGR says, I got so much in common with Justin. I am a photographer and a Gunpla lover, and I got the ADD. Am I the next member of G Squad confirmed? That's what he said.
So, talk to Jeno Hobby. You
There it
might be.
Message Jeto Hobby. There you go. But with that being said, what exactly about the cyberpunk colors like purple and pink and neon, all this stuff? What about them is it that attracts you when it comes to photography and cityscapes?
I do think that that has kind of a connection with the love for robot and mechs, right? Like when we think about robots and like for example Pacific Rims, right? These kind of movies, robot mecha movies, it's all set in the future, right? And also I do love like the Blade Trinity kind of vibe and as stuff like that as well. And I grew up watching Ghost in the Shell.
Hmm.
So can you see the similarities
Yes, of
between
course. Yeah.
the cityscape, the cyberpunk feel? Yeah, that's where it came to me. And a lot of times, I mean, before I did this, obviously there are a lot more creators who've done it already, but it's like you're presenting the world in your perception your love for cyberpunk, you like this kind of futuristic style and all that. And now technology has allowed us to manipulate the colors in the picture,
Mm-hmm.
right? Just by moving a couple of slides here and there, and then you can present your vision of the world, Instagram, on Facebook, or whatever it is, right?
Yeah, of
So
course.
it's really amazing. I mean, before edit, this is just another picture that you see on tourism photos.
Yeah, this is true.
But now, after some altercations and stuff like that on the lights, it has become something new. So this is our grasp on what the future could look like in the future with all these kind of lights.
Yeah.
Probably everybody will start wearing glasses.
Yeah, because of how
Because
bright everything's gonna be. It's burning your eye
exactly.
sockets. No, it's definitely true what you said, right? Is you're basically kind of painting the world in your own way when you edit. Now, editing photos isn't always bad. That's something that I do want people to know because sometimes it can be bad. I've seen some pictures of people who edit and they over edit, they oversaturate, and it looks terrible. All right, I'm not gonna name people, but I know some people who do that, and they're just terrible edits. What would you how would you recommend, or what would you recommend for someone who wants to learn how to edit? Not necessarily Gunpla, but in general. Like, aside from YouTube, what's another
Mhm.
good source of information?
Right. Okay. So on YouTube itself, I follow a lot of the big boys. Like the top one on the list, my personal favorite would be Matty Capoya. I'm
Hmm.
gonna type that down on the chat currently. Matty Capoya,
Hmm.
Peter McKinnon, which is from all of them from Canada.
Oh, man, Canada.
Right. So these are the two boys, and James Matthew as well. So these are the guys that really helped me personally with my photography journey and my videography as well.
Hmm.
And also, don't forget Daniel Schiffer, one of the best. And they really put up a lot of tutorials on how they do things. So sometimes when we look at certain types of advertisement and we are really attracted to it, or when we look at Pinterest or we look at Instagram, like, how did he do that?
Hmm.
Well, the problem is that not much enough people are showing how did they do that.
Hmm. Hmm.
Because oftentimes artists or photographers, they live in the moment,
Hmm.
right? And it's really impossible and really hard for them to get distracted and shoot another video behind the scene as well. Oh, I did this, I did that,
Hmm.
because they want to live in the moment, because it's their work that counts, not their behind the scene work that counts,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Right. And then for people before the wave, before the internet and anything, I mean, like, there's just no way you can find. And thanks to all these creators, content creators, they do great work and they do the extra, they go the extra miles and show other people on how did I do this, how did I achieve this kind of effect. So
Hmm.
that's what I'm trying to do as well with Gunpla. Like,
Yeah.
for example, when I first started Gunpla, customizing, it oftentimes it's like I look at one picture, Ravi Pla, for example, how did he do that?
Yeah.
Right? What did he scribe? What kind of tools did he use and stuff like that? And oftentimes it was not shown, right? When you, especially when you're just looking at pictures and
Yeah.
there's no links or anything to the tutorials or anything. So it's kind of saddening, right? So because those artists oftentimes they are really focused on their art, right?
Hmm.
And one thing that is really hassle to do is documentation of the process.
Hmm.
Pictures is still fine, but especially if you're trying to take a video, good luck, bro. It's really another can in the work,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
So this is what I'm trying to do with G Academy as well. Like those who have seen G Academy previously on the post on Instagram, what I'm trying to do is I'll try to simplify whatever that you can learn in 10 slides in G Academy. So when you slide over, then you immediately it provides you with value on what I've done, especially with the dissection that I did on the PGU
Yeah.
RX-78 granddaddy.
Yeah,
Right.
I was actually going to mention that because looking at the G Academy PG Unleashed guide or kind of detail work that you did, it really does explain what you did. You even put in what scribers you use, you know, point 0.5 or 0.15 and all that stuff. So it's a very good avenue for information. If you guys want to check it out, go check out G Academy. You guys already probably know about it. I probably don't have to say it, but definitely go check it out. Like I said, that's the thing about Justin, and it's not because he's my friend or I'm blowing up his ego or anything, but you know, the fact that he has always been very vocal when it comes to wanting to help people. right? And trying to teach you guys and give you the tools that you guys ask for when it comes to wanting to be a better photographer. And not necessarily for Gunpla. I know we're all here for Gunpla and that's the hobby that brings us together, but just in general, right? Photography is one of those things that you definitely have to practice, go out there and put your own flair to it. Which, by the way, that's something I kind of want to talk about. Well, we'll do that in a little bit. We're going to go to a question that the same Rain asked. So he asked a question that kind of had to do with his childhood. He says, as a kid, I had so much more imagination and always used to design robot on paper or drawings, but no money for Gunpla. But now I have Gunplas, but I lost imagination and customizing is kind of hard. How do you overcome that?
I would say start with baby steps. Start with baby steps, always. You can start by just changing a color of a part. You can start by just deepening the lines within the existing lines, right? It would make your Gunpla look so much pop, right? Like more 3D, more solid. Because oftentimes when it was printed as in a mold, right, the details were lost because of how sharp they can go on the edges, right? So if you are sharpening the edges, you are actually bringing the details to life, and it will put a dramatic look on your Gunpla itself. So one more thing that I can help is that without using any customizing tools, start by learning how to pose your Gunpla properly and try to dwell into the world of like maybe posing it properly and then look at it, like take a photo of it. It's a form of baby steps as well to try to connect your love with Gunpla, because when we hold the Gunpla in our hands and when we're trying to pose it properly, look at it from different angle and all that, you are essentially expressing your artistic side of things as well when you are doing that, because everybody has their own pose and everybody, like, there's no one-on-one guide on how to pose your Gunpla.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's all about you and how you want it to be. You can pose it in a very feminine way. You can pose the Gunpla in a very macho way.
Yeah.
It's your way, right?
Yeah.
So when it comes to customizing Gunpla, it's not about the tools that you have or the spray booth or describers. No, it's not really. It's about how you want to express yourself. So my advice to you basically is take baby steps on what you can do, right? And then only move on from there. Get comfortable with your Gunpla, first of all.
Yeah.
Get comfortable with the plastic. Know the limitation of Gunpla, and then learn from there. Reverse engineer.
There it is. And that ties right into the next question that I have from Vonaliu. I'm sorry if I butchered your name. No, sorry, not from Vonaliu. I lied. It's from John. It says, sorry, Vonaliu. He was actually responding to somebody else. John says, does Justin use any mechanical schematics or engineering references when he's thinking about, customizing something, right? Panel lines, the mechanical look and feel seems to come so naturally. So what do you look at in order to gain that sort of inspiration when it comes to designing your Gunpla?
I found a secret that I was going to share in G Academy in future videos.
Okay.
So I'm going to share it with you guys right now, since you guys are here and ask this question. Just give me 1 second.
We're gonna give him 1 second.
The secret to Gunpla scribing is patterns, right? So the best way is that then it comes to the next question: what pattern? Now I'm gonna show you guys. I'm gonna draw it backwards, and I still can draw the pattern. This is the pattern.
Oh, of course.
Can you guys see this?
No, it's a little overexposed in the middle of the, so we can't see it.
All right. Again.
Maybe get it really close. Get really close.
No. I'm gonna draw it really dark.
Thick? Yeah, make it really thick.
Yeah, make it really thick. Just like it thick.
Yeah, you know me, dude. There it is.
You know?
Yeah, there it is.
This is the pattern. So this is the pattern. 2 lines on each side with a slanted thing. With a slanted line.
With a diagonal line. A diagonal line.
A diagonal line, right? A diagonal line. So basically, whatever panel you look at, for example, I'm gonna show it real quick. Okay, on the waist part here, I'm not too sure if the camera allows it. So I'm gonna pull on autofocus, yeah?
All right.
So basically here on the line, check this out. It's a diagonal line, right? There's a pattern to it. And then on the chest where I scribe as well, this is a diagonal line as well. So 2 lines and diagonal, right? And then let's move over to the lake. Two lines and diagonal.
There it is. Yeah. Patterns.
And here, two lines and diagonal.
Yep.
So don't get too like sometimes when we look at things, right? Okay, my face is really big right now. So let's get back to autofocus.
Let's take away that little square. Oh, we're in custom shooting mode. There.
Right. So basically, when it comes to customized Gunpla and getting the lines on, it's basically that line.
Mm-hmm.
And if you do enough of it, it will look natural, right? So don't force your line. Don't force your line. Try to find a plane, and then just do that line, and you'll look good.
Yeah.
Trust me.
There it is.
You don't have to do a lot.
You don't, and that's something that. So real quick, a little plug. We have a GTS Master Class, and the first debut of that was a couple weeks ago. I think 2 weeks ago with Ryan Lau, where he sat down with us and talked about scribing. It's a 3-hour episode. It's more of a seminar. He goes through everything regarding scribing, and I know Ryan Lau is somebody that you respect, Justin, a GBWC winner of Canada. And so definitely go check it out. GTS Masterclass #1 with Ryan Lau. And we have 2 more masterclasses for this season that are coming up in April and May. So just keep that out. I can't say who it is. That's only for the Patreons. But with that said, we're gonna keep going on. So we're gonna get to all of your questions. We're gonna try to. We do have a whole little Q&A thing set up. I'm just trying to interact with the chat. But as always, Justin, you're doing really awesome. It kind of feels good, right? Does it feel like you're back now?
Yeah, I kind of got into the groove. Kind of forgot the nerves.
All right, so now we're going to come on to this compilation of your work when it comes to videography, which you actually said that is very important to you. It's a very important kind of compilation of your journey through videography and who you became. So we're going to watch it for a bit, guys. So I'm going to ask you guys to watch it for a little bit. And so real quick, John, you don't have to sign up for the masterclass. The best part about GTS Masterclass is that it's free. You can check it out at Gunpla Talk Show on YouTube. So youtube.com/Gunpla Talk Show, and it'll be GTS Masterclass with Ryan Lau. So you can definitely go check that out. But with that being said, let's go back to this compilation that, like repeating what I said. Justin mentioned that it's very important in how he went to what he is now. So before we watch the video, is there anything you want to explain that people are going to see and that people should pay attention to?
Pay attention to how I try to emphasize on certain things like the location, what are the landmarks, and how the transition goes. And also, I mean, when you look at this, you gotta know that Studio G is really based on this. This is where it all started.
Yeah.
Right. The difference is that this is outdoor and Studio G is tabletop.
Yeah.
That's it.
All right.
Right.
Well, guys, sit down. Let's watch it for a little bit. I'll put the volume down a little bit. But we're just going to watch it. We're not going to say anything. And I'm going to press play. So there it is. So there's the ending. Beautiful, beautiful work. Of course, we can see a lot of you during that. But before we get into you explaining what we just saw, let's get into some of the questions that people have. So we're going to start off, and sorry guys, I'm not playing favorites, but the Saint is one of my favorites, and I know Justin knows this. So we're going to go on with Saintisms first. I love Saint, so. Anyway, Justin, bro, I am always exhausted when watching your build videos because I can feel how much work goes into the entire build and editing process. How many hours are you putting in each day? Forever impressed and envious by your dedication and how far you've come in just 1 year. Keep on keeping on, and best of success in your business.
Wow. First of all, I'm really surprised Saint is watching this. Thanks a lot, Chris.
He's always on here, man. I love that guy.
Right. He's from Malaysia as well.
Yes.
So one of the best people you met is from Malaysia. So
This is true. This is true.
Right. So basically, I put in around 20 hours to 22 hours a day. I sleep based on naps, not sleep anymore, except for last night when I got really sick, feverish and stuff like that. So I had to sleep. Body is into overdriving right now. So basically, I sleep around 2 hours to 4 hours a day maximum. And then it's on a rotation as well. I study extensively on NREM, REM sleep and stuff like that, just so that I can come back something like a biohacking my sleep schedule as well. So
what
how many hours? 22 hours. 20 to 22 hours.
Yep.
Between managing the business, having 7 or 8 meetings on a daily basis, and also building Gunpla.
Yeah.
And spending time with the family.
Of course.
Yep.
There you go. Saint, I know that you and I, so regarding Saint, when Saint was on the show, you guys can actually watch his episode from season 1. Justin was on it.
Yep.
So the thing about Saint is that I remember when Justin and I became friends, one of the first people, if he remembers, that I mentioned to him was Saintism. The first time I ever wanted to learn how to take photographs, I looked up how to take photographs. The first thing that pops up is saintism.com, which is an amazing site, by the way. Go check it out, saintism.com, and check out his work and his blog posts. He goes extensively into what he does and the way that, he reviews kits. But with that being said, he has a beautiful photography tutorial that you guys definitely want to check out. So with Saint, he is definitely somebody that you would consider someone that you respect, right, Justin, when it comes to the whole hobby and when it comes to photography.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So definitely go check him out. Saint is awesome. But we're going to go into some other questions. Hydroponica asked, what's this song? I'm sorry, Hydroponica. I asked that too late because I don't know which song you were talking about anymore. But your music, it always has this style. Where did you get this music from? I guess that should be the question on this case. Where were you getting your music?
I get every of my music from epidemicsound.com because it's copyright. Because if you can't just use a song from Sia or from Michael Jackson or whoever it is, right?
Yeah.
On your YouTube video. So basically, as a content creator, you should invest in your music because it plays an important role on bringing the feel and the look and the style of your video itself. Because 50% of the movie or the video is about sound. Imagine watching The Conjuring without any sound. You won't. Oh, trust me.
Yeah. It definitely. So that's what I kind of want to get into. So. People. So somebody already asked about the music stuff. One thing that I do want to mention is what Rain. So again, Rain. He says, give me a second. He says, yeah, he overworks. Justin should rest more. I think we all agree that we can wait a week longer for an upload if you take a bit of time for yourself. Now, Rain, let me tell you one thing as a friend of Justin. Justin can tell you how many damn times I've been telling him to sleep more. This guy. I remember when he first told us how long. I remember he told Chris and I, and he's like, oh, I have to do editing, and he'll edit literally for 12 hours straight. Right? Because nobody's editing his video. He's editing his own videos. So this guy's editing for 12 hours. So I've definitely told him to sleep a lot before. It's been so much that, that sometimes when we used to do GTS, this is actually the reason why. So a lot of people asked in season 2, where's Justin? Give me Justin, right? And I had to tell him, like, dude, the guy's busy, right? He has other priorities. He has to do his own thing. This guy edits for like 12 hours. He has to do this whole stuff. He has a business going on. There was a lot of things that I couldn't talk about then that I knew, but I just knew that you were a busy man. So he's definitely busy, and he definitely should sleep. But speaking of sleeping and people that are busy, we have Otaku Builder in a chat. What's up, James?
Exactly. Another guy who doesn't sleep as well.
There it is. Another. You guys should definitely go check out James' video. I was watching it earlier today. So he definitely did a beautiful job with his editing skills. I mean, he's another guy who's just really good at what he does. But we're gonna
Yep.
keep going on. So let's go. Let's talk a little bit about your video. I'm gonna replay it. I'm gonna put it in the background without any.
Okay.
What I want to get into, and this is something that I mentioned to you yesterday. I told you that you definitely have your own style, and people are trying to replicate the style everywhere. People are trying to replicate the whole B-roll footage and the whole boom and the swoosh and then all the transitions, because this is very much Justin. And this is something that I talked to my wife about, because my wife knows you, and she said, we were talking about it, and I'm like, you know what, like, there's a lot of people who are trying to be like Justin. Now, that's not necessarily a bad thing. You could definitely take inspiration from Justin. But what I told Justin is, when you come, a lot of people try to come into this hobby and they try to become super popular immediately, right? Like, oh, I'm going to get into Gunpla and I'm going to become super popular and I'm going to get 150,000 subscribers in a year and I'm going to be the next Justin. And go for it. Go for it. Go become the next Justin. Go become the next whatever when it comes to this hobby. But the thing that you have to remember is that you have to be authentic. And what I mean by this is that Justin, if you're going to come into the hobby and you're going to want to change things, you have to change things. You have to make a ripple in the whole hobby. And I can clearly say, Justin, and again, this isn't to blow his ego up. It's not because he's my friend. It's because this is the honest truth. I told him this when I first met him. I told him, nobody is doing this. This is some Christopher Nolan bullshit that you're pulling when you're recording your videos. All right? It's like I'm watching fucking Batman. All right? So with that said, what do you think? And this is actually a question that was asked in the Discord that we'll get to. But what's your opinion on other people trying to replicate your style?
Right. Well, I would say my opinion is that there's no like whatever style that I'm doing here is not actually my style, right? I got it from someone else as well. I was inspired by Peter McKinnon, Matty Hapoya, James Matthews, all those people that I look up to, right? So it's a ripple, right? And before this became my style in the world of Gunpla, it was actually other style. So I take no offense on anybody who's trying to replicate whatever I do, even to the same exact shots or whatever. I really don't care about it. And to be honest, I'm actually feeling really honored as well that I was referenced by someone.
Of course.
Right? I was used as a reference by someone. So I look at things positively, because before you can find your style, there has to be a style for you to follow first. Then you can develop it into your own. Mm-hmm. It has always been like that, because gone were the days where the originals are truly original, because it has been done already.
Yeah.
Right? Even in the 90s, people started using those transitions already, right? But back then, it was used in documentaries, comedy, sketches, right? But nobody bring it to the mainstream media. But even so today, if you look at John Wick, there's a lot of these kind of transitions already.
Yeah.
Right? So nothing is truly original anymore. Mm-hmm. It's just that how you want to play with that style that you acquire.
Mm-hmm.
Right? If you want to talk about truly original, look at Van Gogh, look at Picasso, those Jackson Pollock. Those are the truly originals, because back then there's nothing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So definitely taking inspiration from people. And I think the main argument would be is that you're the one who basically, like you said, mainstreamed this idea of doing the jump cuts and the nice transitions, when regularly we would see this in technology videos and technology communities, like for phones and the B-roll footage for cars. Basically, I guess what you did is you kind of changed the game by changing your medium. Instead of it being a phone or a car, now it's this this Gunpla, right? This plastic model. So with that being said, how does it feel to be an inspiration to people when it comes to wanting to replicate your original style? Let's put it that way, because like you said, it's not original. So how does it feel to be an inspiration?
No, I don't know. I still feel weird when people come up to me to say, especially on the streets, when they saw me shopping or whatever in the malls, I'll say, "Oh, Justin, oh my God, Justin." I mean, it still feels kind of weird, right? Mm-hmm. Like, to be honest, to be recognized, and even under the mask and the face shield that was required in the Philippines. So it's really an honor, right? Mm-hmm. And I always try to do whatever I can to like how to say to inspire more, right? Because the world is, like I always say in my video, the world is in chaos right now. A lot of people lost their job, and it's not really a good time to be in right now,
Hmm.
right? So a little bit of warmth, a little bit of drive, that a little bit of inspiration that I can give, or motivation that I can give to anybody, I would give, right? Because we definitely need this right now in these trying times,
Of course.
right?
Of
Right.
course.
So just treat Gunpla as a medium for me to spread my message.
Yeah.
It's a tool because it's a tool that I'm good with,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm. Yeah.
Just like that.
And okay, that definitely makes sense, and it definitely works. I think I can hear myself a little bit on your. I think I can hear myself over there. Okay. All right. Yeah. So going back to the whole videography stuff and the inspiration, and obviously sending the positive message. I think maybe you also came in a really good time when it comes to the Plamo scene in Gunpla, since this is quarantine time. A year ago, we thought this wasn't gonna last this whole time. But
Yep.
hey, people are at home, people are watching videos. But with that being said, I mean, your videography definitely changed the game. And I will argue this, which is definitely something that I'm sure if Derek was here, if Sean was here, if Kevin was here, they would argue, because I've mentioned it to them. If you want to make yourself, if you want to give yourself a name in this game, aside from being talented, you need to change the game. And that's something that James and Justin has done. It's something that it's a Gunplay even did. For me, the reason I watch these people is because there's a certain sense of their personality stuck to the videos that they make. You okay, Justin, over there? You good?
Yeah.
So, for example, it's a Gunplay. He's got his voiceover stuff that people miss and they love, right, that he does. James' style of video is really his own style. He shows you everything that he does, puts nice music in there. You can put it in the background, really chill to it. Hear his beautiful voice, because James has a beautiful voice.
Right.
So,
Okay. One thing, can I chip in here a
yes,
little bit about
yeah,
talking how awesome James is?
yes, yes.
So one thing that I really admire about James, which is Otaku Builder, if you guys don't know his real name, is that he puts up content that is 40 minutes long. Nobody does that.
Yeah.
Nobody does that, because oftentimes we are educated to cut down our video, like to be on the optimum. I mean, I found my optimum, which is around 20 minutes, 20 plus, right? But James found his optimum at 40, and that is
Yeah.
really amazing.
Yeah.
Right? To be honest, I mean, and James showed every single step, which I can't do, right? Because our style is different. If I started doing that, then I will be copying James already, and I don't want to do that. I want to stick to my style, and James would stick to his style as well. And
Mhm.
I truly respect James as a videographer, as a content creator, as a Gunpla customizer,
Hmm.
because I learned my LEDs from him.
Definitely. I mean, James is a one of a kind guy. So I'm really glad that you speak really highly of him. But speaking of builds, I think now we're gonna get into the whole idea and what all of this really brought. So now we have photography, we have videography, we have your inspirations, we have your camera, your tools, your weapons. So guys, now we're gonna come into what you guys already know. We're gonna start looking at his Gunpla, but before that, we're gonna look at his little studio that he has here. So this is your setup, right? This is where you're at right now.
Yep, I'm sitting on this table right now, which is this table.
So
So I do everything here.
that's your man cave. That's where you're sitting every day.
It's not even a cave; it's a corner. It's my man corner.
It's it's the man corner. Very nice. So we have here just one screen. We have your PS4 being used as a stand.
Yep, unfortunately.
Very, very
So,
nice.
It's crazy because I mean, I'm a big fan of Spider-Man, right? Miles Morales.
Hmm.
I even have the games here,
Yeah.
Spider-Man 1 and 2.
Hmm.
So I bought this and I played like 5% of the game, and that's it. No more.
Yeah.
No more.
I remember your post. You were like, "I can finally sit down and play," and then you didn't play again.
I'm doing a show. Yeah, sorry, that was my daughter.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
I can finally sit down and play for 5% of the game. Done.
Whatever
And then
works,
never
works.
before that I turn on my PS4 anymore. You see, I can just lift it up just like that because the power cord has been unplugged as well. So purely, it's a stand right now. PS4 Slim.
If anybody wants to buy it, he's selling it. You know, it's signed
No.
Justin Studio
Selling.
G in white.
I'm not selling my PS4. I'm gonna get to it. I'm gonna get to it eventually,
Hmm.
but just not right now.
Not right now.
So, yep. If you want to be successful, let me tell you guys, no, it's not really what you do; it's how you do it,
Hmm.
right? Whoever thought that I would become a guy who, like, you know what my daughter writes in her school registration form? Your dad's occupation?
Yeah.
She writes, my dad sits at home play toys.
Give us a sec. I'm gonna open the door for my cat so you can talk to the public. Perfect.
No worries. So basically, I mean, it's not what you do; it's how you do it, right? And for me itself, it's not about overworking myself to death. I mean, I still take care of my body, and I know my limits, and my limits are pretty high, to be honest, right? But it's about how you use your time more efficiently. For today, for example, I have 7 meetings. Each meeting will last around 1 hour to 2 hours. So I got 14 hours gone. And then what about managing my business and creating graphics and creating all these Instagram posts and all that? So that would take another 2 to 4 hours. So right now, maybe I got like what? Out of 20 hours, I got 6 hours left or 4 hours left on working on my Gunpla and recording. So how can I make full use of my 4 hours before I have to go to sleep or take a nap?
Hmm.
Right? Should I use 1 more hour or 2 more hours or with possibility of getting distracted by playing PS4 or watching YouTube videos? No. Start doing your shit.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
Right? It's that
Definitely.
simple. You wanna be successful, then don't complain. You have to give and you have to give before you can take.
Hmm.
Right? You have to give away, you have to sacrifice certain things to reach a goal. Nothing is given to you unless your dad is Bill Gates or whoever that is a millionaire, then yes, you are given. But then I'm not, and I'm pretty sure a lot of us are not as well.
Yeah.
So if we are in a disadvantage and you want to improve your life, it's not what you do to improve your life. It's how you do the things that you do that can improve your life,
Yes.
right?
Yeah. Definitely a very different philosophical way of looking at the hobby or anything in general. You can actually just implement this and use it in anything, any kind of category, in life, right? Just you have to do it. You have to set aside. Sacrifices need to be made and compromises need to be made with yourself in order to reach what you want to reach, right? And it's definitely something. I remember I used to play a lot of Modern Warfare, and I remember Justin telling me one day, you have to get off the video games, dude, if you want to, get better at this stuff, kind of focus on that. I didn't. Because that's actually something I wanted to talk about because somebody asked it earlier. I would actually have to dig all the way up where somebody asked about how easy, or not how easy, but like how much of a good idea would it be for that person to start working on Gunpla and make money out of it? That's what he asked.
How easy it is.
Not easy. I don't want to, it's wrong. Oh, no. So here it is. It's from Wei Kong. W Kong 203 says, thanks for always sharing your process, Justin. Watching you build has really inspired me to pick it up again. Just one question. If I were aspiring to generate income from Gunpla, how feasible is that goal?
It's very feasible, super feasible. First thing first, just create a website or get on an Instagram page. But if you want to be looked as a professional, definitely having a wacom.com sounds better than Wacom underscore Gunpla Builder underscore 93,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So definitely, if you want to create a business out of it, first of all, you got to look professional, right? So that people can trust you and who you are as your work ethics and stuff like that. And there's only so much information that you can put on Instagram versus a website. So tip number one, if you want to generate income, you want to create a business out of Gunpla or out of anything, get a business front, right? You got to do the right things for the right things. And then secondly, hone your skills. Once you got your skills up, then you start producing banging like really awesome Gunpla kits. Then you can start making money already. But the question is, how far you want to take it, right? You want to generate like $400 a month just for side income so that you can buy more kits, more hobby tools, or you want to be your living. So that's the question you need to ask yourself. How much time would you want to generate? No, how much time would you want to put into the business itself?
Yeah.
Let's say if you want to make this into your living,
Yeah. Definitely.
right?
Definitely a very, very smart thing to say. Definitely something that people have to think about because Justin makes it look easy, but it's not. And I keep saying it, and I don't say it to show off, but I know what this guy goes through when it comes to editing and stuff. The guy doesn't sleep. He had, I know for a fact that he's gotten sick just from working. So it's definitely a sacrifice that he does to himself. So keep it in mind. And also, let's talk about a little bit about your space that you have here, your corner, right? Your man corner. I think it's kind of, you kind of set it up to a point where it's efficient, right? Where you have everything
Yep.
on reach and using the space.
Yep.
So let's talk a little bit about how you were able to organize your space and how you were able to design your little corner.
Right. So as I progress, and there's more and more work that has been piled onto me, because my channel started with only can spraying and a little bit of scribing to whatever that PGU is. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, the workload has doubled, tripled, maybe quadrupled as well.
Mm-hmm.
So as I grow, I started with one single table, right, and one single small corner. It's not even a table for the paint booth. It's just a stool.
Mm-hmm.
Then I put the paint booth on
Mm-hmm.
to a full-fledged corner. I would say this is to optimize how I work, because oftentimes we spend a lot of time standing up, walking to get some tools, come back, sit down, set up again, especially when you're shooting. Then you have to reorganize everything and start shooting and all that. So what I've developed is the swivel system. What I do is this.
Wait, it's freezing. Your internet's going a little bit crazy. Let's do that one more time.
You're lying to me, right?
No, I promise you, I swear.
I'm gonna do it counterclockwise instead.
And there it is. He was able to reach everything by just doing the swivel.
Yep. And then with this, I can just go back. For example, this is a place where I get my skewers for my painting. And then I can go back, come here. This is all my paint.
What paint are you using, by the way?
It's all Gpaint, ladies and gentlemen.
Gpaint, guys, as it says down here on the banner that you guys are seeing switch every so often, you can definitely check out Gpaint. You can check out StudioGundam.com to buy Gpaint. You can also check out all the retailers that he has all over the world. Here in Canada, we have Kevin who sells it, so you guys can also check out his website.
HQP2.com. HQP2
Inc.com.
Go check it out.
Yeah, go check it out if you guys want to buy his paint. They're really awesome paints. They're already pre-thinned, and he's just a really nice variety, and I'm sure more things will come in the future for you guys. Justling is always innovating, so keep that in mind. But anyway, yeah, so what do you have right there in your hand?
This is all my connections, like LAN cables, data transfer cables, USB cables. It's all in one basket.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is more camera gear, slides, slider, connections, connectors, like adapters as well, all in one basket. And then this is more connections as well. And then this is actually for my lens, but my lens are out here right now because I'm switching lenses all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So yeah, basically you have to really organize your workspace for me myself, I have like 6 hours a day to work on a kit, for example, before I go turbo, right?
Yeah.
So I need to have all my tools laid out perfectly for me to know where they are, so I don't spend a single second more in looking for that 0.2 scriber.
And
you know what I mean? Yeah.
My question is, where's my picture? Where do you have my picture in your studio in order for you to be inspired?
It's in my wallet.
Oh, it's in your wallet. Okay. Very nice. So, guys, as you guys heard it here first, you guys need to have my picture in your wallet in order to be inspired. All right? So keep that in mind. But a really awesome show of kind of organizing and making everything efficient for you because you do need to work fast. You're always on the edge and working. But speaking of working, your work has created beautiful art like this Sniper 2, which you actually posted the other day. And you were talking about how you were looking at it and you're like, this isn't my best work. Maybe should I do another one? What should I do with this, right? So with that being said, what we're going to do now, guys, we are going to hear a little bit about the kits that you will see up on screen. But again, you guys have already seen his videos. You guys already know about the kits. He's very vocal. You guys get to see everything. So we're going to treat this section of his kits as a little Q&A. But before we go to the questions in the chat, we're going to go to the questions that were already brought to us. One, by his viewers and followers on YouTube, and by the GTS Discord family, so the GTS fam. So if you guys want to be part of the GTS fam, go over to the GTS Discord and join in. We're a very friendly bunch, and people are always talking and sharing their stuff. And you get to ask questions to our weekly guest. And by the way, just another plug, if you're watching and you haven't clicked that follow button on the Twitch, please do. It helps us out immensely. And let's just get started. So I'm going to start off with the Discord questions, if that's okay with you.
Okay.
So the first question is, looking at the Gunpla community across different places, does each country have a certain style in terms of modifying or painting their kits? This is from Drancy B. I'm sorry if I'm butchering that. I know you told me last night how to say your name, but I'm saying it wrong. But anyway, you have the floor, Justin.
Okay. Definitely there is an influence based on their culture, based on their local builders and how they do things. And over in the States and in the West, people like to have highlights and basing, right? So, which means that they like to get gradients on to their panels.
Mm-hmm.
They will black base the sides, the edges, and then only they paint on top, just like how Otaku Builder James is. And it's a Gunpla. You guys do this for every single kit. It brings the realism out of it, right? But that's the difference between the West and the East. The East would be more fantasy type, right? I would imagine my Barbatos being covered in a magma solution or whatever it is, right? I would imagine my originally blue, what is that called again? I forgot the kid name. The kid of that. Okay, whatever. I would imagine I would imagine my granddaddy being in the military, right?
Mm-hmm.
So over on the West, over on the East, it's more fantasy type. But over on the West, it will be more realism type. Probably because we grew up with this kind of anime and stuff like that, where everything is reimagined,
Mm-hmm.
and you guys grew up with military kits,
Yeah.
where realism is a must.
Yes.
Right. Yes. So I think that's where it came from.
Okay, very good question there, Drons. So now we have Magic Mike, aka Channing Tatum, says questions for Justin. Will you have a supplier for Gpaints in the Philippines?
Basically, yes. 2 months ago, I tried to get Gpaint in, and until today, it's still in the custom.
Okay, well there it is. It's in the customs. You guys can go buy it there.
It's not because I don't want to have it here in the Philippines. It's just custom is being a bitch.
There it is.
Seriously.
I guess, yeah, that's what happens, man. They tend to do that sometimes. The next one says, I'm not gonna. So how do you mask off round areas? That's what they want to know.
Oh, mask out round areas.
Yeah.
Use masking tape and cut really carefully.
There it is. Cut very
But
carefully.
there's a couple of things like I want to touch on. Masking itself, there's two types, right? You mask on top, and then after that you use the skewers or bamboo skewers or something that is not metal, that is softer, and then you trace around the lines, and then only you cut it off with a hobby knife. That is the optimum way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So the way that I do it to ensure that I get a really clean mask line is that I scribe before I even mask. So I don't mask the place that I don't scribe.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You get what I mean?
Yeah.
So that when you scribe, you have a groove for the mask to like be settled
Inside.
on.
Yeah.
For the edges to settle on. And that will create a better masking point for you as well. And then when you are painting, for example, this is a part you mask it like here, right? So when you're painting, you don't paint at an angle where the paint might potentially seep inside under the masking.
Mm-hmm.
When you paint straight on a 90 degrees so that it doesn't flow inside under the masking tape. So it's not about how good your masking is. That no matter how good your masking is, that if you paint it wrongly, then you might get results that are not satisfactory as well. So there's a lot of elements. This is based on my experience.
Yeah. Oh, there you go, guys. Scribe before so they can settle inside the grooves, like he said. The next question we have is also Magic Mike. He has a bunch of questions, but we're just going to go through them. We're going to go into this last question. It says, during your time in the Philippines, have you tried using Zerk paints or Armor Komodo paints? If yes, how do you go about spraying it to get smooth results in terms of PSI?
Okay, so basically I use Zerk paint for the Barbatos build.
Okay.
Right. I use Zerk paint. the results are satisfactory, but it's not exactly what I'm looking for. It's
Mm-hmm.
not really that smooth,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because I'm always about babies, but that's not around. But
Okay.
I'm always about those really smooth surface
There.
of paint. And even when there's a little bit of orange peel, when the paint surface started to look orangey peel kind of thing, like you guys know, right? I always make a big scene out of it where
Mm-hmm.
I feel that I have to like really do it because that's how I feel at that point. I cried during the PGU and I
Yeah.
messed up the head.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously, I cried, right? Because it was so hard, and then to come to the last minute and
Yeah.
to ruin it and have to redo the whole thing.
Yeah.
Really, it broke my heart. But basically, basically, the question is, how do I overcome that? You overcome that by, I'm gonna tell you a trick. You sand it with 3,000, 4,000 grit sandpaper,
Oh, okay. So polishing
and then you
basically.
yes, and then you paint again, light coat. Done. Problem solved.
There you go. There you go. It's a very good tip. Very nice. We have Noble Mecha, who has been an avid follower and also supporter of GTS. He said, "What has
Yep.
been your favorite kit to build and or customize?"
I would say my favorite up until today is still the GM Sniper 2 because of the possibility that that kit poses.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That kit offers a lot if you know how to take it.
Yeah.
Right? And I would love to get another second chance to do it. So a lot of people say that just improve on that kit itself, but that kit has long since gone. That kit has long gone because I sold every of my single kit. Like even the PG, even this guy was sold as well.
He's soon gonna leave.
So yeah, I'm just tidying him up and then package him in, and then I'm gonna ship it to the states already. This kit was sold already.
Nice. All right. So with that being said, it's been the Sniper 2. So for those who don't know, if you guys are following now and you guys are listening, over on the GTS Discord, we will be having a group build where I will be announcing the rules this week. It's going to be a group build based around the what's it called, the War in the Pocket and an eighth MS team series. So GM Sniper 2 falls in there along with Zaku's, along with the EZ8, along with the Ground Gundam, and you also have the Goof, and you have so many things to choose from. So if you want to be part of that build, make sure to join the Discord. That's who we're going to be taking into consideration for the group build. So if you want to be a part of that, be sure to join. But with that being said, there you go, Noble. Then we have Gord Sunset, who said, "Why is the best Gundam series, and what is the best Gundam series, and why is it Victory Gundam?" Have you seen Victory Gundam?
What is Victory Gundam?
You have. I knew
Okay,
you're.
let me tell you this, guys. Justin sucks when it comes to Gundam lore.
Yes.
I watched three series in total in the world of Gundam. One is IBO, second is Unicorn, and third is a little bit of Wing.
And that's it.
I feel ashamed of myself.
Yeah, Justin is the worst guy to ask anything about lore. All right, that's a one thing. So Gorb Sunset, I know that you love Victory Gundam, but it's not gonna make any sense to ask him any of these questions when it comes to Victory Gundam. But with that being said, we're gonna go over to again Gorb. I'm so sorry, but Justin doesn't know a lot about lore. But Millennial Model Mayhem from Canada
Yeah.
says, "What's your favorite food and drink to have as a victory meal after the end of a satisfying Gunpla project?"
Ooh, I love myself a fried chicken.
There it is.
Fried,
Fried chicken. There it is, guys.
fried chicken.
Fried chicken is awesome. Um,
Right.
and drink? What's your favorite drink? What would you put alongside that?
Soda.
Soda?
Duh.
Coca-Cola?
Soda. No, I like orange-based soda.
So
Like
Fanta
here in the
or
Philippines, they
something like
have
that.
Royal, like fantastic. Like, yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, there
But
it is.
I don't drink too much of that, guys. Don't drink too much of that. It's unhealthy.
Yeah, just inject it into your bloodstream. You should be good. Um, Old School Skill, another supporter of Justin and also GTS. He says two questions for Justin. Number one, having dipped your toes and obviously fingers into multiple social media marketing businesses areas of the hobby, what have you personally found most difficult to get into and find success?
Get into as in the platform or
Yes.
what?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. I find I find Facebook is really difficult to manage because it's just so broad and there's too much content on Facebook.
Hmm.
So I don't go into Facebook. I'm sorry that people have been asking for a Facebook group, right? And I just didn't want to have a Facebook group because I think that I don't have really nice thought about. I mean, I don't really like Facebook in general, right? On how the privacy concerns and also they, I don't know, just generally Facebook itself is not a thing for me. I know that Instagram is from Facebook, but Instagram is a more focused community, right?
Hmm.
If you want to build a community itself, like I would choose Discord as the best social platform to build a really strong community where everybody can talk. Well, Facebook, there's a lot of haters, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of people who knows too much, and there's a lot of people who thinks that they know too much.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't really like to interact with those naysayers
Hmm.
or those who think so highly of themselves. I'm sorry, guys. If you hate me, then hate me. But I'm more successful than you. Fuck off.
There.
That's all I can say. Right? I'm being really real, right? Because I work my ass off, right? So don't fuck with me,
Yeah.
right?
There it
That's all I
is.
can say.
You guys heard it,
And
man.
then right, and then to be really successful in social media, I think that one thing you gotta be is that you gotta learn how to be vulnerable,
Hmm.
right? Because the world is so filled with all the artificial image that we create for ourselves, right? That advertisers they create for themselves, brands that they create for themselves. So the world needs a little bit of authenticity,
Hmm.
right? Did I say it right?
Yeah. Authenticity. Yeah.
Yep. The world needs a little bit more of authenticity.
There it
So
is.
part of the success of Studio G as a channel itself, I wouldn't call it a success yet, but part of the growth of the rapid growth is that I would say it's because I do show people my mistakes,
Yeah.
where I fuck it up, and I explain extensively what is the mistake and how I feel about the mistake,
Yeah.
right? And in other words, a lot of people can relate to those mistakes that I've did, whether is it on a model kit or it's in life, whatever it is,
Hmm.
right? They can relate to it. That's why the growth has been exponential based on that point alone. I would say that would give the channel and give yourself a lot of credit,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Very good analysis on that side. Old School Skill also has one last question. He says, "What advice would you give a 2019 Justin, having the knowledge you have now?"
What do I give to myself back in the day? I say 2009. Huh.
2019. 2019. So
2019, there's not much difference. I already know what I need to know. So what about 2009?
yeah. So
Then that makes a difference,
okay. All
right?
right. 12 years
What
ago.
would I advise a younger self? I would say stop going for the money, go for passion. It always pays. Because when you chase success, no, sorry, because when you chase success, you will chase nothing. There's nothing to success, right? But when you chase excellence, success will come naturally.
Yeah.
So I want to share with you guys a very personal thing here, which is that I used to be homeless at one point in life, right? I used to be homeless for 5 fucking months, right? I shower in public toilets, I eat, I beg for food as well at some point. I'm not really proud of it, but I did it because I had to do it.
Yep.
And then I am here, I am today, not because of luck, not because of whatever. It's because I work hard as shit in whatever that I do,
Yep.
right? And one thing I learned in those journeys is that you gotta chase excellence in what you do. Whether you are a reporter, you are a carpenter, you are a plumber, make sure that you're the best damn plumber in Canada if you want to be a plumber,
Mm-hmm.
right? Or in Calgary, then you can form a business, you can form a brand. Then people say that Peter is the best plumber in Calgary. So if you want him to fix your hose, get him.
Yep.
That's how you get business. That's how you can charge your rate at you can charge a little bit more because your time is more precious right now and people want you, right? So that's how you bring your own value up.
Of course.
And with that said, sooner or later success will come because you want to train more Peter coming up to be the best plumber in Calgary so that you can form the best plumbing company in Calgary,
Yep.
right? And that is business. Then when business comes to play, then that is success,
Exactly.
right? But it all falls back to how you measure success itself. Success for Bill Gates and success for me, success for Elon Musk is different.
Yes, and
Yes.
that's something I wanted to mention is success is different to a lot of people and has different definitions for many people. In this case, um, this is something that Justin and I talked about last night is how him and I have different versions of success when it comes to the community and the hobby, right? For
Yep.
me, coming into this GTS thing, I wasn't in it for the numbers or for growing. And I'm not saying that Justin is either. I'm saying that wasn't my long term plan for GTS, for me, it's to create a community, have people come in here and talk, have people that are popular come in here and talk because it's a selfish dream of mine. I think Justin also used to say it in the past. I think you remember that GTS is a selfish project of ours because we want to talk to our heroes. So for me, success was basically creating the community, and look at it now. GTS Discord has over 300 members. We have people that are talking all the time, and that's what success is. For Justin, success is hustle, 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 and he does it the right way, and he's been doing it the correct way. And I didn't know that he was going to mention that part of his life. I didn't want to mention it because it's something that I knew, but I'm glad that he did because, like he said, he's there now not because he got lucky, but because he worked for it. This guy doesn't sleep. This guy just works, 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 and it's something that we can really admire of Justin and kind of take from. With that being said, but the next question. So very good answer, Justin. Of course, you did
Thank
really
you.
awesome there. Gunpla
Thank you.
Chef ask one question for Justin. Would you classify Gunpla building and customizing as art? And if so, do you consider yourself an artist? I have seen people classify Gunpla building as just a hobby, and I would like to hear your 2 cents on such a claim.
Well, I would say that everything is art. I mean, what is an art? Everything is design, and when it comes to design, everything is art by itself. I mean, how do you even classify what is art and what is not art, right? If
Mhm.
you do good, and people paid millions for a picture with one single line in the middle. I think it was sold for 48 million or $7 million. One single poster, one single canvas with one single line in the middle. So it depends on what is art for you personally. I truly believe it's an art for me because I express my creativity through that medium, right? Artists, when it comes to artists, we were so fixed up with the perception of being an artist. You gotta be messy, your hands gotta be full of paint, and then you gotta wear the beret, and you gotta have paint on the canvas. Then you're an artist. No, there's a lot of type of artists, right? And it's just so that Gunpla is my expression of art.
There you go. It's a very good answer again. Gunpla Ghost asks, Justin, what are your thoughts on copycat channels? This is something we already talked about. I'm sorry. So that one we
Yep.
already talked about, so we're going to skip that one. But sorry, Ghost, it has been answered before. Kelga Creation says, who is this guy? Do you know Kelga Creations? Who's this guy? He says, how are you so beautiful? That's what he's asking.
I am by no means beautiful, all right? But I accept
He accepts it.
that.
Real quick, my mom wants me to tell you that she thinks that your katanas on the Unit Zero are awesome.
Thank
So,
you.
so
Thank
there
you,
you
mommy.
go. Are you sleeping better these days? Got more rats to keep you company? That's what he's asking.
Oh yeah. No more rats. Got the exterminator coming in. So no more rats in the house. And then, but they'll be back.
They'll be
They'll be
back.
back.
How are you still feeling about filming and editing your ASMR snap build and your iconic parts drop processes? Ever had trouble searching for pieces that fly away?
Oh, definitely. I spend sometimes hours looking for one single piece, and then I give up. And to the point where, you know what? But one thing I did notice about that, the more you want to find something, the more you can't find it. It's just like the remote control,
Yeah.
right? You could end up in an argument with your wife for over a remote control. So don't argue over a remote control. Just go to the TV and press the buttons in front, right? So basically, if you want to find something, don't find it, and you'll come up eventually.
There you go. And
Just
then
like there's a sorry, Jess.
that's okay.
Can I share? Can I share this?
Yeah, of
Right.
course.
So this little piece here for the PGU that opens. This thing it was missing for a week. For more than a week, it was missed. Yeah, I didn't paint this guy until the very last part as well, but I didn't show that in the video.
hmm
It's just that it kind of ended up in my trash brush thing, you know.
hmm
So I just didn't look for that in there. I was looking for that part, the entire studio, Then I gave up. Then I was like, okay, fuck it. If I still cannot find it before I need to shoot for it,
Yeah.
then I'm just gonna improvise that part itself, right?
Yeah.
Because we gotta improvise.
Yeah.
So basically, I found it in the most unexpected place. In the most unexpected place. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. There you go, guys. And then last question for Discord, Alan, who is in Cali, says, can you describe the behind scenes of sponsorships without having to breach NDAs?
The behind the scene is usually, hi, we are interested to sponsor your channel for X amount of video at X amount of costs. Can you revert on that? And then you reply, yes, I would like X amount. And what are the requirements? Then they will send you the requirements. And then after that, you say, okay, let's do it. These are the dates. And thank you very much.
There you go. What goes behind? Oh well, I mean, it kind of goes to the same thing. So there you go, Alan. It's the same thing. But now, guys, I'm on my phone reading the questions, so don't think I'm ignoring you guys. I'm gonna go on to the WhatsApp that I have with Justin here, where he sent me screenshots of the questions of his YouTube spot. So that's why I'm on the phone. All right. So with that being said, it says this one isn't really a question. It says you should consider making a 30-minute missions kit bash custom. Who did you learn to custom from? That's the Happy Family on YouTube.
Okay.
Says, who did you learn to custom from?
I learned custom from YouTube.
Okay, there you go. It's so simple. Like it really is. Like you just kind of look it up on YouTube. You find so much inspiration. So I'm sure a lot of people would say that they're learning how to custom from you. So that's a really nice one. What's your opinion about the Build Fighter series? Have you even watched it?
Yeah. I did finish that series. So I watched 5 series in total. Okay, I watched 5 series in total. So the Build Fighter, but I watched the Build Fighter try, not the Build Fighter. So, but basically they're the same, right?
Yeah.
I find it more relaxing. It's more not so plotty, right? It's just something that you can binge and just let it play on the background and only pay attention during the fight scenes.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. So it's a really fun one though. That's all.
All right, very nice. I'm trying to look for the questions, and some of these are just comments. It says, since you mentioned that you really like the PG Unleashed RX-78, are you going to do more PG customs like the Axia and the Unicorn? And for more personal stuff, what is the first Gundam series that you watched and got you into building and customizing Gunpla? So basically, are you going to work on PGs like the Axia and the Unicorn?
No.
There you go. It's so easy. Why? Why won't you work on them?
First thing first, PGs are expensive and they are bulky, so I don't have space to store them. Even the box itself is super bulky.
Yeah.
Just you know that you have multiple PGs.
Yeah.
And then the PG itself, I'm going to do MG version of it, so I'm not going to do PG. And Unicorn, I'm sick of unicorns. I did like what? How many unicorns in a row? 2 unicorns. Okay.
It's
I'm
a
sick
thing.
of unicorns. So
This is where we're
hopefully
friends.
next year.
This is where we're friends. It's the whole joke of the unicorn hating began in season 1 with Justin. I want you guys to know that. Fuck the unicorn, Bandai. I love you guys, but come on, give me something else. Tired of the unicorn. What did you think of the MGX actually? Because you didn't post a review on that.
MGX is actually one of the favorites that I did because it was you can see Bandai in terms of the engineering on how intuitive they are, and it's really great on how they circuit the LEDs and make it into ribbons, and then how the ribbons light up the part. It's really clever as well. They use clear pieces against clear pieces on contact point, and then that's where the light can travel.
Yeah,
it's just how much light can travel during. So definitely, it's something worth exploring. But if Bandai won't be watching this, but if you are a Bandai representative or someone, please make something more like this, and also please stop making LED lights gimmicks. Can we just leave it on for like half an hour instead of 3 minutes? I have to press it every time. Come on.
Yeah. What the hell, man? But seriously, if Bandai is watching, please listen to us. All right, no more unicorns. With that said, we're gonna go on to the next one. This is from Thai. I'm gonna completely butcher this, but Thai. I'm just gonna say, what is your favorite Gundam of all time in the anime? Like in the anime, not outside of it.
Okay, in the anime. Let's talk about series, right? In the anime, it's definitely I like the Earth Tree Gundam in the Build Fighter Tri. He's the coolest, and I like Valkyrie as well. I mean, not Valkyrie, Valkyland. Bulky leather is good as well. Don't really like Justice Gundam because of the character is so. And then
Yeah.
after that, when it comes to wing, I actually prefer. I actually prefer not wing though. I like the who's the other guy? The
Uh,
not the heavy arm, but the one with the arch with the sword. Not Death Side though.
not
Shen Long or something.
Ultron. I don't know. Shenlong maybe.
Yeah, Shen Long. Yeah, the San. It's not San. Am I in the wrong series right now?
No, I think people are saying Ultron.
Right, Ultron. Yeah, Ultron. Yeah, I like that guy
What
because
the
of the design.
Is
itself.
it this guy? Because I have to actually let me show you real quick.
Right.
This is a commission piece that I have to do. I don't know if you can see it. It's it's from Wing. So no, so it's not the Ultron. So then it's the Shenlong maybe. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm scared. Sandrock. Oh, the Sandrock.
Right. Is it called the Shenron? It's a Chinese piece.
Yeah, it's the curve. It's got like a does it have curved swords and it looks like a chicken?
Yeah. Curve sword.
Yeah, then it's the Sandrock.
Oh, Sandrock. Okay, Sandrock.
Yeah.
So where does the name Shen Long came from? Is it the guy who pilots it?
I don't know, but there is a name. I know Shenlong is also from Dragon Ball Z, so.
No, that's not. That is the god of the dragon.
Yeah. Well,
right. Barbados, of course.
of course.
But unfortunately, my favorite Gundam of all time is the GM Sniper 2. Is in the anime series that I didn't watch. So
War in the Pocket, yeah. Okay, can we just dispel this? Because I've told people this many times, but sometimes they don't believe me. Who's the person who told you to buy the Barbatos?
Jesus.
Okay, there it is. It was me. All right, because I've told people many times, like, no, and like, no, I told him to get the Barbatos, and that's when you came out with your video. But anyway.
Yeah, because at first I thought the Barbatos was like, wow, dude, this is really overrated. Everybody loves the Barbatos.
Yeah, I remember.
And then Jess was like, dude, you gotta buy the Barbatos. The Barbatos is good.
Yeah, and then he bought it, and then look
Sorry
what
with the
happened.
Mexican accent.
No, it's okay. That's exactly how I sound.
Right.
Um, it says, I'm sure this will not be... Okay, well, it says, what was the first Gunpla model you have ever built? Ever.
The Destiny Gundam.
There it is, the Destiny Gundam. There you go.
The RT Destiny, I bought it purely on the looks. I didn't know anything about it.
Yeah, so that's what he asked. This is John Harder. But the next one is Venjugan Raha. I am so sorry if I'm destroying that. My question is quite simple. Where should I start? Like, which model would be quite the fit for a pure Zako noob like me and could be stepping stone to making my own custom one? Sorry if this sounded absurd. It didn't. That's a good question. What would be the kit that you would tell people to customize first?
There's no perfect kit. There's no one size fits all, just like shoes, right?
Mm-hmm.
So pick what you like.
Mm-hmm.
Done. Right? If you like MGs, go for it, because I'm pretty sure before you even buy Gundams, you know about what the grades are, right? Definitely you do a little bit of research on it, high grades, RGs, MGs, PGs, and stuff like that. And then, first of all, just if this is a new hobby to you, look at the design that you like. Don't care about the backstory. Even if he's the baddest guy ever, fuck it. If you like him, buy him. Just like how you just pick up a design that you like. Second, consider the price itself. If it's too expensive, try the high grade, which are definitely cheaper.
Yeah, or an SD. Some new SDs are really, really nice. So definitely.
Well, SDs are basically something that I wouldn't say those are those chibi types, right?
Yeah.
Where it's different, right? It's not for everybody. It's really not for me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really like those kind, right? But some people like it. Like the one that you have. What are those pop thing? The pop figures.
Yeah, the little pop figures, the pop. Yeah, the pops. Yeah.
Yeah, the pops. I don't like the pops. So
there you go.
I mean, I don't like these kind of things.
Yeah.
Right. So it all depends on you, what you like. So what my advice is, you don't have to know the stories. There's no kit that is more superior than the other. It's just the engineering after all. But at the end, I'll give you the best engineering in a single in a Gundam that is not really likable by anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Or I will give you the design that you like with normal engineering.
Mm-hmm.
So
there you
which
go.
one would you pick?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I'm gonna go on with this question that was asked twice by John. I'm sorry, John, we won't get to it. Sometimes, like right now, I'm on the show alone with Justin, so I'm the one who has to look at the chat also and do this and all of that. So, but John asked a while ago. He said, "I'll ask again. Did he put a stop to the video theft, or is Justin getting finger tattoos?"
Well, basically, it has come to a point where I have accepted the theft. So no matter what they do, okay, go ahead, do it.
It's
Fuck
not.
it.
It's not you, right? Like fuck it. They're just
Right?
stealing
It's
content.
like certain things are out of your control, right? You just gotta focus on, instead of me focusing on people stealing my videos. Why don't I just focus on doing something that they will never ever replicate?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's how it works.
that's it.
That's how it should be. Yeah. I mean, people like to steal from other people all the time in social media. You get drama out of it all the time, right? So, but hey, they can't do what you do. So,
Sucks to be them, right?
yeah, exactly. So real quick, guys, I'm going to link the GTS invite to Discord. If you guys want to join it, you guys can click on that link that I'm putting in there, because I know somebody asked how they can get the invites to the Studio G and GTS Discord. Now, the Studio G one I think is a little bit more exclusive, right? The Discord one.
My personal Discord channel is only exclusive for patrons only.
There it is, yeah. So if you want to go to the Studio G Discord, you guys have to find, on Patreon, and then on GTS Discord, it is open, so anybody can join in. So just keep that in mind, and there it is. There's the answer to that question. And then let me check if there are any other questions that people are asking. Not really. With that said, I want to talk a little bit about your final build that we have here, which is frankly one of my favorites that you've done, if not my favorite that you've done. When I follow your work, because I still follow your work, I like. I've always told everybody, and I'm sure Jetto Hobby and Caliga Creations can vouch for me. I've always told them that I would love to see what Justin could create in a month. Right? Not in a month, yeah, in a month. Just 1 month of you working on a kit. Just 1 month of passion, of making love to this kit. What would you be able to do, right? And I always, obviously, I'm always rooting for you and always trying to see you level up, because, I personally don't think that Justin is perfect. All right? I still think there's room for improvement. But he's definitely getting to a point where he's getting really fucking good, especially at the timeline that he does his things. And this is by far my favorite work of yours. I know the inspiration and everything, but how was it to work on this PG Unleashed? What was your thought? I know you have a review on this, so you do have a review on this, but being your first PG that you built, how did you feel? How did you feel building this monstrosity of a beautiful kit?
Well, well, first of all, I'm really taken back sometimes, because I work on some of the shittiest kits, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I was just really enjoying and figuring out how those connections work, right? How those panels come to line, and because everything is open hatched, right? You can open up the hatches. It's just that I don't show that because it's impractical in the diorama, right? So I'm just really amazed and really taken aback by how the engineering and how the entire model industry comes to a point where you don't even need glue anymore, right? And it's so good. Even the articulations are good. It's just that the waist part, it's a bit stiff. That's it. But other than that, it's all good. It's
Nice.
really an amazing kit. And I do know that there's an LED gimmick, and the whole reason why I don't put the LED gimmick in is that it's because, again, Bandai, if you want people to turn on LEDs, just let me turn it on until the battery dies, please.
Yep. Instead of a timer.
Instead of timing it at 1 minute, come on. What can you do in 1 minute? You can't even jerk off in 1 minute.
Yeah.
Chill.
Is that a challenge?
Right.
No. The whole lighting gimmick for the RX 782, I think, is one of its weakest points. It works sometimes, but even just the way you have to turn it on by switching it like with the front part of the chest.
You have to pull the cockpit.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You have to pull the cockpit, and when you have paint on it, yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah.
Keep on pulling at it, and pretty sure your paint will look weathered without you weathering it.
Yeah, exactly. You'll scratch it. The poor little RX 782, and even the waist, because it has the core fighter in there, is very stiff, right? And if you pull it, it just comes off real quick.
Exactly.
which is
So there are some weak points. There are some good points. Just like the Barbatos, no matter how good the inner frame is, the joints
on the
are
shoulders.
still sucky on the shoulder and on the ankles.
Yeah.
So definitely, like what we said, like there's no perfect kit. So whatever kit that you want to buy, just go ahead and buy it. Just
Yep.
based on the design itself. Don't need to talk about what are the features, what are the gimmicks. Just
Yep.
buy the kit.
Yeah.
The one that you like.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, with that said, guys, I think this is your most recent one, and yep, this is where we end the slideshow and the questions also. First off, I really want to thank you for being on the show again, Justin. It's been 1 year of GTS tomorrow being live. It feels like old times, and honestly, it's the same repertoire that we've already built when it comes to the fact that we already know each other. It really does feel good. So if you have any words for your fans, if you have anything, maybe you want to talk about your paint, now is the time. I'll give you the floor.
No, I don't want to over promote everything. So if I want to promote about the paint, I'm gonna pay advertisement for it. So it's all good. But anyway, I do want to talk about don't like when it comes to being who you are, and a lot of times I do get people come up to me. It's that I don't have money for this hobby. I really like this hobby. I didn't have the money. I don't have this. I don't have that. Don't look at what you don't have. Look at what you have. A lot of the people, even I saw a guy from India who didn't have Gundams, Gunplas, and he built a Gunpla based on paper, like using paper, just because how much he loved Gunpla, right? So nothing is stopping you, right? And then if you don't have it today, make sure that you work your damn ass off, right? So that you can afford it tomorrow.
Definitely.
Right? It's just that simple. Never, just don't freaking give up. And yeah, it's okay to relax from time to time, but get your priorities straight, right? Do your work first before you play games for 6 hours straight, because you can't get anything out of it.
Yeah.
Trust me on that.
Yep. Definitely.
Same goes to you, Jax.
Yes. But with that said, thank you so much, man. I want to just give a quick shout out to the upcoming reviews for March. We have the real quick the entry grade RX-72, which is being reviewed by Sia. We have the Asuka kit from Figure Arts that's going to be reviewed by me. The Machindramon, which is the big one that my boy Sean is going to be reviewing later during the month. We also have a lot of different kits being sent over by other sponsor. This is from Plamont, but from Gundam Hanger, we have some nice things regarding the Barbatos coming in. Also some nice high grades. And then from our Gamma Hobby, we have some Gaia notes coming in later, along with some Scrivers and a kit that Sia will also be reviewing. So keep that in your mind. You guys can subscribe to us. If you already followed us here on Twitch, you can subscribe to youtube.com/Gunpla Talk Show. And I just want to remind you guys to follow us on our social medias on Facebook, on Instagram, on GTS Base, here on Twitch, and on Gunpla Talk Show on YouTube. If you guys can go to our Instagram and give us a follow, that would be awesome. We're always growing, and we're always looking to get more people into our community that we've been building. And of course, join our Patreon. If you enjoy what we're doing and you want to support us, you can support us for $3 a month. You don't have to, but you get an exclusive look at upcoming content, chance to win kits with our tier system, and vote on future kits and video topics. So please do keep that in mind. And with that being said, be sure to check out Justin's beautiful work on Studio Gundam, Studio Gundam on YouTube, on Instagram. Check him out everywhere. Check out his website. Check out his paint. He doesn't want to over-promote, but he forgets that he helped create GTS. He's a co-founder, so he doesn't have to pay jack shit here. So thank you guys for showing up. I'm going to miss having you again, Justin, but he'll definitely come back later. And with that being said...
Maybe on a 2-year special.
Maybe next year. Who knows?
Right.
All right, guys.
Thank you so much, guys.
It's time to do your thing.
Right. Thank you so much for joining us, and I'll see you guys next year. Bye-bye.
Bye.